So I had this idea for a simple tool that you can use where you essentially use ChatGPT and Whisper as a brainstorming partner where you talk about an idea you have, and as you discuss this idea, it will be saved as a MP3 file, an audio file. And then what's gonna happen is you're gonna use Whisper to transcribe the text, ChatGPT to create an ongoing summary of what you're thinking, and that will be, showed back to you. And you can go in a loop for as long as the session, let's say, takes, as a way to kind of like develop an idea, but like instead of writing, you're talking. So that's what we're gonna try to build right now. So I'm already kind of like in the middle of this idea, so I'll show you guys what I'm working on. All right, so what I have is, I have some way to record. So right now it's just this little Python script just to get the recording going. And the second part is the transcription. So I record, Whisper now is gonna be doing the transcription. So I got the response and this is the transcription. So now we would get something like ChatGPT. So let's import OpenAI. I'm gonna get my response function. So get response prompt, and then response is equal to OpenAI chat completion dot create model equal GPT 3.5 turbo. Let's put it right here, and then message is equal to, and now we create a dictionary. Oh no, come on, there you go. And now he's gonna be role system, and then content is going to be you are a helpful brainstorming assistant. Perfect. And now for the user, it's going to be the prompt. Okay, so now that we have this set up, we can return the response, and we're going to return the response as choices 0, and then it's I always forget this part, message content, something like that. Hopefully get response. What is an idea about? Let's discuss an idea about brainstorming with AI. Brainstorm with AI. Let's test it. Didn't work. Go back. Return. Oh, there you go here. Nope. It's right here. There we go. Boom, now it's working. Oh no, it's not working. Messages is a required property. I've put message. So, where is it? In the get response, in the response function, I should have said messages, right? Messages. Okay, so we have our function to call the API. Great. Now we're gonna go in the loop. So to create this loop, this brainstorming loop, we're gonna create the brainstorming loop. Now, create the brainstorming loop. I'm gonna wrap this into a function to record an audio, and then another to transcribe, and we're gonna loop them over, okay? So let's take this and let's wrap it into a function. So this is gonna be record audio, and that's just gonna take it some, let's say, duration. Let's say that's gonna be the parameter, and that's going to be an integer. And the output, and then what the thing is gonna do is, let's take all of this. We're gonna put it in here. I'm gonna do it just like, disorganized, whatever, just so that you guys, just so that we can build together kind of like this this concept of the brainstorming thing. So now we're going to return the recording. Now we're going to return the file path with the audio file. So audio, so this file path, we're going to return file path. And the file path is going to be alpha.wave and idea. Let's call it idea. And let's make it, let's make it a keyword argument here. Yeah. I like it. I think I can do something like this, right? I'm not sure. Can I? Nah, I can't. Duration 8. Is it like, no, it's like this. Yeah. No, let's see. No, I can't do it like this. Let's see if I can do it like this, I think. No modulating sound device. That is not true. Let's put that module in there. So conda activate content creation. Why these things keep happening to me? Pip install sound device. There we go. Okay. So now we have sound device in our system, but we don't have sidebar. That's great. Pip install sidebar. And I don't want to debug right now. Why is it that the environment that's referenced here is not actually in there right now? So I'm not going to think about that right now. So we have this working. Okay, so we have this working, have the record audio function, and now we're going to take in the transcribe function. So the transcribe function is going to be just the base model, just transcribing something, right? And I'm going to call it a function just so that we get, return exactly. And we're going to feed it every time the file path with the audio. Yeah. And usually it's always going to be probably alpha.wave. No, sorry, idea.wave. And great. So now we're transcribing it. Perfect. And now we have these two functions set up, right? What we want to do is first, let's test it. So let's test the record audio. So we're going to say record audio. I don't have to feed in, I have to feed in duration, and the file path is already there. So I'm going to say duration is equal to 5 seconds. And it didn't work because it's duration. I don't like durations. I like duration. Yeah, duration. All right. Hi, I have a brainstorming idea that I want to discuss. Let's talk about it. There we go. So now if I search for that WAV file, perfect. The WAV file is right here. So now we can go back to the brainstorming notebook. So now we're going to transcribe that idea, right? So we're going to say transcribe. We're going to feed in, we're going to transcribe, and then we're going to give the base model, and we're going to give the file path. We don't have to give the file path. We can give just the base model, because the idea is that we're going to iteratively call this transcribe function. Perfect. Now it's working. So now let's create the loop and see how we can insert ChatGPT in this loop so that we're like, we're working. So we're going to say something like while true, we're going to say record audio. Let's say duration record is the input. We're going to set duration for idea, right? And we're going to want to turn that into an integer as soon as it comes out of the input. Not as soon as it comes out, actually. Yeah, no, as soon as it comes out. Yep, boom. And then we're gonna say, okay, record audio with this duration. And then we're going to record, and then we're going to transcribe with the base model. And the WAV file we're not going to change, so we don't have to put anything there. And now the transcribe should return the transcription, right? So the transcription should be here. And now we're going to feed in the transcription to ChatGPT, but with an if, and the if is that we want to do something with that transcription, right? So we could use LangChain and a simple prompt template. We don't need to go that far. We can do something simple. We can say, okay, response is equal to get response for the prompt. The prompt is going to be URL for brainstorming system. Yeah. Take this raw content for an idea I am brainstorming and summarize it into one concise paragraph and give me 3 bullet points for how to expand on it. Okay, so we're gonna say something like that. Take this raw content and then I'm gonna give the idea itself, and that is going to be the transcription, right? And I'm gonna say, let's think step by step. We don't have to say that. See, I don't think there's any need to activate chain of thought for this, because this is kind of like a free flow type of thing. Then we're gonna say response, get response with the prompt. And then we're gonna say print the response. And then we're gonna say continue brainstorming is equal to continue, yes or no. If continue brainstorming is equal to no, we're gonna break, right? And that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be just evolving the thing. One thing I would like to do is to save the intermediate states of where we are, right? So we're gonna say, okay, so we're gonna say with open brainstorming as that. We're gonna save it as, we're gonna say after write the, we're gonna write the response. We're gonna write the, like the content being, evolving. I would like to see iterations of an idea, but let's just leave it like this, not in incremental form. I want to replace it. Yeah, why do I want to replace it? Because the idea is just to evolve, right? So I'm not concerned with like keeping a track record of everything that was said. I just wanted the raw thing to be there. So that's a very simple loop. So let's see if it works. Set duration for the idea. I'm gonna put it 10 seconds so that I have time to elaborate. So I had this idea for a brainstorming tool using Whisper and ChatGPT, where I can, discuss ideas and the model would help me by providing insight. Great, so the audio was recorded. So now it's transcribing, it's doing all the stuff. So let's see. Okay, there you go. So using Whisper, ChatGPT, so now I got a response. The user can discuss their ideas, assist with responses, can be expensive. Now I get time to look at these, explore functionality with Whisper and ChatGPT, research and experiment with the capabilities of these models to better understand how they can be applied. Okay. And then develop a user-friendly interface. Okay. Implement personalized learning and improvement. Okay. All right. So first of all, I like this, just the summary was good and the suggestions were good. Maybe they were a bit too lengthy, but that's something we can work on. So now I can say whether or not I want to continue or no. I want to continue. I want to do one more round. So let's say yes. Set duration again. This is something that, we could optimize. Ideally, I would like to have this thing to be just obviously, a normal conversation, and the interruptions would be in the middle of the flow of the conversation. But for now, we're just, we're exploring a concept. So set duration for the idea. I want to have more time to talk, so I'm going to put 15 seconds. So I like what you said about personalized learning, and I like functionality of ChatGPT to research and experiment. I don't know what I'm going to do about the user-friendly interface, so maybe you have ideas on this thing. And yeah. One thing I just realized is that we're not keeping track of, we're not keeping track of the conversation. So I have to now interrupt this. So I'm going to put no and interrupt, and I'm going to feed the summaries back into the model. And how we're going to do that? We're going to say, okay, we're going to brainstorm it, and then, exactly. And then we're going to say, okay, So we are discussing this idea. And then I'm going to say the idea summary. Take this raw content of thoughts about this idea I'm brainstorming and summarize into go, exactly. So now we added this, and I'm going to say idea summary, and that's going to be, the model is going to do an idea summary of the, not of the transcription, but of the brainstorming.txt file. So we're going to start somewhere, right? So we're going to say, we're going to say something like summarize the contents of this idea I am brainstorming into one simple descriptive sentence. And we're going to say like this, and we're going to say brainstorming.txt, brainstorming idea. Brainstorming idea is going to be if brainstorming.txt exists, right? So it checks if the path exists. So if the brainstorming.txt file exists, so if the brainstorming.txt file exists, it will load the contents of the file into a variable called brainstorming idea. We go. Enter. It's very nice. We're gonna import OS. So now this is what we have. We go read, okay. Let's just okay. That's not the idea exactly. So let's just and now we're gonna say echo. The idea is to use ChatGPT and Whisper in combination for creating a brainstorming loop for developing ideas. It's kind of meta, but it's what we have right now. Okay, so now we got that thing there. Very nice. Perfect. So now we can start and we can go again. So set duration, I'm going to set 10 seconds. So this idea is a brainstorming tool that uses AI to interactively summarize something I'm thinking about. Now recorded everything. This thing with the duration is kind of annoying. I would like to know how to fix that, and I will find that out soon enough. Expand development, user customization, real-time feedback. Okay, So let's go again. Let's put it 15 seconds. For this brainstorming idea using AI, I don't think algorithm development is that important. I think just user customization and real-time feedback, making sure that the user is actually developing and growing their ideas is what I'm most concerned about. Okay, so now I completed. So that goes again. So now I gotta wait a little bit and then we're gonna show, there we go. So now it says, okay, so the brainstorm idea is to create an app that offers real-time traffic updates and alternative routes. All right, so there's some issues with like keeping track of what the idea actually is. So we might have to feed that into either the context of the model. I mean, obviously we could use LangChain, we could put memory, but I want something simpler that I don't have to write. I just want a script that does something very simple. I don't want to go into like, LLM app development. This should work as just a simple script. So continue. No, let's iterate a little bit. So the idea has to be in the mind of the model. And I think the way to do it is to just add in just the contents summarized back into the model. And I mean, at some point the prompt is going to be huge, but then that's probably the time to, let's say, move on from the tool. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say, okay, summarize the contents of the video into one sentence, brainstorming it. Yeah, because I don't want the content to be lost. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say, okay, so we're going to transcribe, then we're going to get a response, and the response is going to start as an empty string. And then we're going to say, okay, instead of feeding the idea from the brainstorming file, we're going to just feeding back the response. So we're going to remove this part. We're going to say, okay, summarize the contents. Yeah. And we're going to remove this as well. And I'm going to say, this is what we discussed so far. Take the following raw content of thoughts about this idea and summarize it onto one concise paragraph and give me 3 bullet points for how to expand on it. And then the response is going to be equal to what is going to be equal to is going to be plus equal plus the response. This way we're like keeping track of the contents of the whole thing. Yeah, because now we are I'm going to try to just replace. Yeah, I'm going to try to just replace for now. Right? Yeah. Let's see what happens. Say 15 seconds. I'm working on an idea for using AI as an interactive learning agent that can help people develop their ideas and expand their thoughts. I want to make this as interactive as possible. Completed the audio recording. And now it's transcribing, it's sending to ChatGPT. 3 ways to expand. Chatbot feature, developing a conversational interface where users can interact with the AI agent through a natural language processing, incorporate machine learning, obviously. Offer topic-specific modules. Okay, topic-specific modules. That's a cool idea. Okay, so let's continue. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to set 20. Okay, so for this brainstorming idea using artificial intelligence as a learning interactive agent, I want to expand on this thing of topic-specific modules, creating modules tailored to specific domains or areas of interest. How do you think we could do that? This is not like ideal. Ideally, you would talk with ChatGPT, right? But in this case, we're just, I think that the chat interface is not necessarily optimized for this kind of like free flow that this type of brainstorming tool could, elicit. Okay, so now it's one way to expand is to develop a user profiling system, interest, knowledge, and skills to create personalized learning pathways in different domains. Additionally, incorporating elements like badges or levels can enhance user motivation. Integrate, Okay, all right. So now let's say again, and I'm gonna put 30 seconds of duration. Okay, so I want to develop a tool that helps people brainstorm their ideas by interactively engaging with an artificial intelligence plus the Whisper model to transcribe the audio to text and then automatically give feedback on its ideas with a summary as well as insights from the AI model. How do you think such a model would be designed on a higher level? Just give me your main thoughts on it. There you go. And now, recording complete. One thing that I noticed by doing this thing is that when you repeat the description of an idea in your mind, it gets kind of really cool. It's kind of interesting. It's like you go into this thing in your mind. It's kind of a cool flow. All right, so let's see. One way to expand of topic-specific modules for interactive learning is to develop user profiling system, collect information about, I don't know, it's still, so continue. I'm gonna say yes. There you go. Okay, so yeah, I should set the brainstorming thing. Let me see, the print is here. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So now let's see, expansion ideas, implement real-time suggestions, incorporate natural language processing, enable collaboration and idea sharing. I mean, those kind of basic ideas, but you guys get the point, right? So let's finish things off. So I'm gonna say 0, and now it led to an error because I put 0 on the recording thing, but that wasn't an error from the code. It was just, in a way, it's an error from the code, but that was just to interrupt this little loop. Okay, so I think that at this point, this was enough, food for thought on this idea of a brainstorming tool to use with ChatGPT and Whisper, where you're kind of like, you get one thing that you want to work on in your head, and you just loop over and over using ChatGPT to kind of like give you just some flavors of things that you can do with this thing. But as you talk about it, and this is the cool thing about audio to text, and this is the cool thing about the interactivity with artificial intelligence. It kind of opens up like a whole universe of possibilities in terms of the types of thoughts you can have, the range of things that you can think of, because now you can really you're bound just by your imagination. And of course, the chat interface is like one obvious way to do this thing, right? You're talking to the model, and then the model is, giving you replies, etc. But I think that the chat interface is kind of like too broad. And I think specialized tools like this one kind of bridge this gap of going from too broad to something that's just about developing one idea that you want to develop. So I hope you guys like this video. This was kind of like a more experimental thinking about stuff. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Cheers.